Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to our Friday show, our Friday fun, happy Friday show. Of course, we kick it off every time with a cocktail. And this time, I made something fairly unique. I kind of made it up on the fly. This is a cantaloupe margarita, frozen. So why cantaloupe margarita? Well, this last weekend, an anonymous angel sent us this gigantic basket of fruit, a edible bouquet. So it had strawberries and all kinds of melons and grapes and some chocolate strawberries. Those were gone instantly, and some pineapple. It was so good. And my family, of course, as you know, I'm vegetarian, so that was eaten up pretty much right away. Now, cantaloupe has never been my favorite. I don't know why, but so I had some left, and I thought maybe if I mix some tequila in it, I like it. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just never been my favorite. So this is actually pretty darn tasty. So ice, cantaloupe, fresh cantaloupe, of course, is probably, you could also just freeze it and skip the ice. Then I put tequila in here. I put a little bit of mezcal tequila, so that's smoky. It's like smoked, so just a little bit to kind of get a little more flavor. And then I put, instead of regular orange liqueur or, whatever you use for margaritas, I used Kinky Pink, which is kind of a blood orange and passion fruit. I used that, just a little bit of agave and lime juice, and mixed it up, and it's good. It's very good. Very good to have a frozen cocktail on a hot day. And I've seen by your comments, wherever you are, that it's many places very hot. So thank you all for being here. Make sure you post in the comments where you're tuning in from. We're live both on Facebook and YouTube, so welcome everybody. Thanks for being here with me. It's been a busy week. Every week is busy, it seems like, but I feel like I'm making some progress. So first off, I have 2 quilt tops done, 2 more quilts for the book that will be coming out later this fall. And I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek. You may have seen a sneak peek of my pink strips. So I'll show you a sneak peek of what that looks like. So this is one of the quilt tops. I do have a working name, but not much more than that. So that's all you're gonna get to see for now. And I have a backing. I show you backing. So I just pieced a little strip in with my logo. Probably can't see much anyway. So I like to piece my backs, and sometimes it just works well to put just a strip of something else to get your label in there. And then also these 2 widths was not quite long enough for a long armor because my quilt was 80 inches and I needed the quilt to be at least, or the quilt was 78-inch long, and I needed the back to be at least 85-6. So that little strip is perfect in there. So you got 2 widths. We got about 3 inches with 2 widths of fabric, and then that little strip makes it perfect. Just use some leftovers. And then I played with some of the Paris fabrics this past couple of days, and I freaking love this pattern. I can't wait for you to see it, but you're gonna have to wait a while. So I used, I'll give you a little sneak peek. I threw some other stuff in there, but it's a quilt that you can use a lot of big pieces. So this one will be in the new book too. And I had some Paris themed fabric to use from my back, because I had bought a lot of Paris themed fabric for my stroll in Paris, but of course I had to add a little strip in here to add my label, and this was perfect. So this was, because the backing was directional, so it worked well to do a full width, a full length, and so it's a length and a half, and then so the half, so it's cut on the fold. So I just did a half length, cut it on the fold, added in my strip between the two pieces, because then you don't have to worry about matching up the patterns. And there you go, easy peasy. So that was 1.5 length for the backing, and the other one is a little bit bigger quilt, so that one I use 2 widths with that little strip. I always try and utilize piece my back so that I can kind of get the most out of the fabric. So purchase the least amount. It makes a huge difference. Sometimes instead of buying 2 full lengths, you can do a 1.5 lengths and just add a little something in there. I love using scraps from the quilt. I love using extra, if you're using pre-cuts, some extra 10-inch squares, some extra 2.5-inch strips, just the stuff that was supposed to be in the quilt, and throw that in the back. It just all works really well for me. And of course, if you have boo-boo blocks, never happens, does it? All the time, especially when I'm designing as I go. So I love to use those on the back because, you know, they were intended to be in the quilt, so they still get to play. They just get to play on the back. So I hope this week has been great for all of you. I showed you some fabric last week on Tipsy Tuesday, which disappeared pretty fast. So I'll give you a little bit of an update on that, what we're getting some more. But the main thing for this last Tuesday was, of course, showing you my new patterns, my new releases, and a brand new Notion, which is our second colorway of our ruler stickers. So I thought we should just play the video for you again. If you missed the show, we can run the video again. Now, if you did see it and you've already seen this, just go have a sip of your cocktail and enjoy looking at the quilts again. So check this out. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs, and I'm excited to show you my new products just releasing now. I have 4 individual patterns and a brand new Notion to share with you. First up is our brand new Notion, the G-Easy ruler stickers in the Fruity Fiesta colorway. The top selling ruler stickers are now available in a second colorway called Fruity Fiesta. There are 3 sticker sheets in the pack in purple, yellow, and red, or as I like to call the colors for more fun, Grape Ape, Lemon Drop, and Strawberry Daiquiri, all named after favorite cocktails. There are 192 stickers in each pack, just like the original. The stickers are shaped like an arrow, so you mark your cutting lines on your rulers accurately and point the arrows very specifically at points you are lining up within a block or on a ruler. The stickers peel off easily and can be repositioned and reused multiple times, whether on rulers, cutting mats, or even paper. They will not leave any residue on your rulers, no matter how long you leave them on. They are great to use with Astrology rulers to mark the lines you are lining up with, and also to mark which slits to cut through when making multiples of the same cuts. They really help with accuracy and to eliminate cutting mistakes. For squaring up with Astrology rulers, I like to outline the square size with one color arrow, then use another color for the cutting slits. So the extra colors are really going to help. Let's take a look at the new patterns. First up is Elvira. This quilt is made from fat quarters and offers 4 different sizes. I recommend using the Astrology XL ruler, although instructions include using regular rulers. The pattern features the use of the 60-degree line in cutting the blocks and cutting parallelograms. If using the XL ruler, I also recommend using my point trimmers, specifically the 60-degree one, to cut off all the dog ears so that your units will fit together perfectly. Elvira was originally done as a quarantine quilt-along, so there are videos available on my YouTube channel where I take you through the steps of making the quilt so you can have extra support in making it. It is a quick quilt to make and looks good in so many colorways. I made 2 versions of the quilt, one using Halloween fabrics, which I thought went really well with the name of the pattern. The other version I did myself was using the Just Red fabric line from Moda, with a couple of extras thrown in for fun, but it really shows off how great this quilt can be in a really controlled colorway. And here for fun are some quilts that folks made during the quarantine quilt-along for Elvira as a little extra color or fabric combo inspiration. The second pattern is called Hope and is available in 4 sizes, and I recommend using either the Stripology XL or the Stripology Squared ruler. Hope is a part of my Stripology Mixer series of patterns where I use different kinds of pre-cuts within one pattern. In this case, it uses 10-inch squares and 2.5-inch strips. I also give you yardage requirements for using fat quarters. As an option for those that like more control and less scrappiness, you could use a single accent fabric instead of various 2.5-inch strips for that center of the blocks. Hope has multiple layout options with 5 described in the pattern, but multiple other possibilities and combinations to come up with on your own. Hope was also done as a Quilt-along fundraising event in early May, so we have lots of great versions out there. The pattern has proven to be a favorite, just like Elvira, with the multiple options of layouts and color combinations, so many have already started their second and third quilts. Just like Elvira, there are videos from our Quilt-along found on the YouTube channel where I demonstrate the techniques using different rulers. I made a few different versions of Hope because you just can't stop at one. The third new pattern is also in the Stripology Mixer series and is called Tailor. It uses 10-inch squares and 2.5 and 1.5-inch strips. Of course, I give you options for using fat quarters as well in the fabric requirements for the 5 different size options. There's a reason for the name Tailor, as the final step in making the quilt, deciding on the layout, lets you tailor it to your own tastes. You make 2 different blocks, and in the instructions I have you arrange it in a uniform layout like shown here. Many will stick with that, but then the instructions tell you to just start turning the blocks and playing with it until you have an abstract layout that looks pleasing to you. As long as you arrange the blocks correctly in the beginning, no matter which way you turn them, your seams will always nest. The fourth pattern is a 10-inch square pattern called Venus. It is based on an asymmetrical block that forms a V, which looks hard to achieve, but is not hard at all using the Stripology rulers. I recommend the squared ruler or the XL. However, the pattern offers instructions on using regular rulers as well. The pattern comes in 5 sizes and has multiple layouts. One of the key ingredients for success making this quilt are the G-Easy ruler stickers when you're squaring up the blocks. Here is a little demonstration on how the blocks come together. You can find all 4 patterns in both paper versions and a PDF download, as well as the new ruler stickers in the Fruity Fiesta colorway on gequiltdesigns.com and at your local quilt shop. Well, I hope you enjoyed those new patterns, as I probably told you if you didn't hear it on Tuesday. So the printed patterns will be shipping sometime after June 10th. As soon as they get from the printer, we will ship them. So you can still order them. They're just on pre-order. So those of you that maybe placed your orders on Tuesday, you may have noticed that if you ordered something else, we shipped part of your order. So the stickers are in stock, and I have been using them since. They are great. Love having those extra colors. So there was a quilt that I was doing. When I was doing Venus, I actually was using all 6 colors. So that was really good. And I have one of the Tailor quilts hanging behind me, the one that is made from a line called Tahoe Ski Week. This line is coming in June. So later this month, we will have bundles for this one. And the other colorway that's on the cover of that pattern is from a line called Juniper. also coming in June, and we'll also have bundles for that one. The Venus quilt is hanging in the corner, and love that fabric line. I saw a lot of comments on that fabric line. I think it's really unique and cool. It's called Chill, also coming in June, and we have both pre-cuts coming and bundles, I believe, or maybe just pre-cuts. But anyways, I ordered because I know you might want some of the border fabric, so I ordered that in yardage, so we will have that in 1 yard cuts. So that is, so I saw some other questions. One question was about when I do Minky for the back, how I do the label. So whenever I have Minky for the back, and if I know I'm going to gift it, if I know I'm going to own it myself, I'm just going to be on my couch. Sometimes I don't even put the label on. I will actually just write on the front, somewhere in the corner of the quilt with my Pigma pen, just my signature and the year that I made the quilt. Just a little note for me, if I know it's just going to stay at my house. However, if I'm gifting it, sometimes I'll just put the folded square in the corner, then I sew into the binding and I write on that. And in other cases, I will just hand sew a label on that, because I don't like piecing that into the Mickey. You want to have as few seams as possible when you're doing Mickey, because it's that thick. And so I don't piece my labels when I'm using Mickey. So that was.
What's your favorite vegetarian dish?
What's my favorite vegetarian dish? Oh boy, there's so many. There's not really a favorite. What is your favorite, Mr. Honey Producer? Ginger noodle soup is one of them. Any kind of soba noodles. This week we made like a mushroom stew. So it was just lots of different mushrooms sauteed with garlic and onion, and then some canned tomatoes and some wine. Some wine. I think I used a little port, a little red wine, and a little Madeira, and that was just really tasty. And you can serve it over, we served it over brown rice or quinoa. Yeah.
Grits with veggie sausage and.
Oh, that's his favorite. His favorite is like either roasted or sauteed, just vegetables with veggie sausage over grits. That's our brunch. Delicious. And I make coconut bacon. That's really good. So if you're missing bacon, well, not that I miss it. I think this is so much better because I love coconut. I make out of the big flaky coconut. So I mix it with like soy sauce and agave and a little liquid smoke and some other smoked paprika, and then I put it in the oven for like 8 minutes, spread it out, and it's like crumbled bacon on top of anything, and it's so good because it tastes a lot better than bacon, I have to say. Some of you probably would beg to differ. Anyways.
Bacon was good.
Bacon was good, says Honey Producer. It's been a while. How long? 3 years since you've had bacon? All right. Any other questions? I saw another question. No, I forget. What was the other question that I was going to answer? Somebody asked if Honey Producer gets a cocktail too. You think I would leave him out? So he's got one too, don't you?
Yeah, right here.
It's almost gone. He drinks it faster than me because I have to talk.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Now, somebody asked about the tailor pattern, about how to adapt to using the Stash Builder bundles. So you would just follow the cutting instructions for fat quarters. You know, half yards are just double fat quarters, so you can just follow those cutting instructions the exact same way. So that's all good. So let's see, any other questions? Oh, somebody asked for if I would do a video on piece backs. There is actually in my tutorials on YouTube, there is a backing video that I talked about how I calculate my backings and piece them together to get the best use out of the fabric. So
Will you be keeping Harvest Moon?
will I be okay?
Panels?
So I want to give you an update on some of the fabrics that we had on Tuesday. Harvest Moon it's on reorder. We ordered double, so hopefully we will get it all. I haven't gotten a confirmation that we get it all, but hopefully. And also Prismachrome, that has been a hot one as well. And we'll get the panels for Harvest Moon too. Now, somebody had asked about Pick Your Poison. That is not coming back because that was last year's line. I just found a case pack that I purchased. So we will not be getting that back. And there was something else that sold out. Oh, actually, we're trying to get more of Gypsy Soul. Was so popular, so we're working on that. Moda's just doing a really good job trying to find all these fabrics for me. So hopefully we'll get that back in stock for you. I know a lot of questions and requests for that one. There is so much great stuff coming, so don't worry. I've upped all my orders, so hopefully we will start having enough yardage for everything. But I wanted to talk about a little bit, so I loaded all of the peppered cottons onto my website today. And so that is a woven fabric, and that's the background fabric I used for my Lucy quilt. So I was wondering, do you want to grab the Lucy quilt, the one with the gray background? And because I want to show you up close. So whenever I use woven fabrics like that, what you can expect if you've never used them, it's actually in the next room. Yeah, we got overload of quilts. It's taken over the next room. And so whenever you use woven fabrics, they have a little bit of stretch to them. Or not, I shouldn't say stretch, but they're just looser. Yeah, that one. Let's just bring it to the overhead. I'll show them later. So it has it's woven, and it's a coarser weave than our regular quilting cottons, but I just love that it gives kind of a different texture to things. And so we can switch over to the overhead. And so this is the color I use for this is charcoal, and I just love that it has that natural kind of variety because it's woven, so in the threads it's just that really natural cool look, very kind of a modern take on it. And so whenever I use that, especially if I'm cutting something on the bias like I did with Lucy, you want to make sure to use some best press or starch, a little starch. I used just magic sizing to just kind of keep them more uniform. Now, just be prepared. It's going to fray a little bit more on the edges, the blocks, but of course with Lucy, since you square everything up, it really doesn't affect us because, you square it up, and even if it stretches a little bit, because it stretches a little bit more on the bias than our regular fabrics. If the pattern is one that you do square up in the end, then there's no problems. I just love using them with that extra bit of texture. It just makes it so much fun. So I added, I believe like 12 to 15 different colors. And just because I had so many questions on it and where they could get those. So they're very similar to shot cottons. They call them, they're designed by Pepper Corey for Studio E Fabrics. And I just really love the finish on the peppered cottons. It's really nice and shiny. It's not, some shot cottons have like a, I don't know, kind of a dusty finish. It's just a little bit linty that you see on the top. So I really like these. They're really nice and smooth and feel really great. So so that's brand new in the store. And Stoff, S-T-O-F. I have used them. I haven't carried they have a similar woven basic line. I don't remember what they're called, but their Stoff Fabrics is a Danish company, and we did actually place a big order with them at Quilt Market, which we haven't gotten yet. Hopefully we will at some point. COVID, of course, hit, and most of those deliveries were in March and April, so I'm still hoping that we will get it because it was really cool fabrics. So any chance of Scandi? So I'm just watching for if they will reprint it. They are out of it at the fabric company is out of what they have. So if they do decide to reprint, that will kind of will take a few weeks. So whenever I get the notice that there may be a reprint, I will place another order for that. But we do have a lot of fun Christmas stuff coming here any day. And I wanted to tell you, I did get a restock on the Country Christmas. So both the layer cakes and the charm packs are in store. And this is by Bunny Hill Designs. And this line is really similar colorways that Scandi. So it's just the grays and the ivory and the reds. And they're all kind of smaller prints. So it's really great for small things, and it will kind of get the similar look as Scandi. Of course, not really Scandinavian designs, but it's cool. Conrad is asking, will you be at the Houston Quilt Show in October? Well, we don't really know if there will be a quilt show. There are all kinds of talks, and most likely, if there will be shows this fall and early next year, they will have lots of limitations on how many people they can let in and things like that. So I don't know, as vendors, that's a tough decision. So I have to kind of start making my decisions here soon. We're talking back and forth about it. And so I don't know. That was the plan. But if they going to have restrictions, it really, as a business, it really doesn't make sense for us. Also, just not taking the chance this year. Can we get a, Janice is asking for a close-up, but I don't know of what. So,
The Christmas package,
maybe, I don't know. Well, maybe she posts another comment on that. But I also got a big box of goodies. You know, I'm fortunate enough being a designer that fabric companies can send me fabrics that are not in stores yet. So they send me some of their test runs and some of their kind of strike off fabric. And so I got a big box from Moda this week, and so it's sitting, and I'm just like, I can't wait to get to it and start working on it. So I thought I would give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what is coming, and I will be working with it. So first off, I should show you this big hunk. So this is the newest ombre line from Moda that is going to be coming. It's called Ombre Fairy Dust. So it is very similar colors as, you know, the ombre confettis that you probably have seen, but this one has these fairy dust, so they have silver stars and dots in it. So I'm going to pull one of these out. Let's pull this purple one out just to show you the ombre effect on it. And so this is really cool because the pattern also increases from a lot and then to less, and then you have the color going ombre too. So this, you might remember my Gloria pattern. I used the ombre confettis for that pattern. And if you do use ombres for that quilt, there is a sheet that you can download on my website under bonus charts and templates. On the top, there's a bonus charts and templates. And that will show you, if you're using ombre for Gloria, how you should cut it, like from which end of the strip you should cut to get the right effect of the ombre, so that the block will be kind of darker in the middle and then gets lighter as it goes out. So if you haven't made Gloria, this will be coming, I believe, in this summer. So August, I want to say that this is coming, July or August. So I picked 12 of my favorite colors, and I'm putting those together as a bundle, but I am going to play with it too for some new ideas. And then I have this one by Sweetwater. I always love Sweetwater's line. This line is kind of a little bit take on a masculine line. It's called Branded, and so a little cowboy, but really not. And so, but I love these colors. So if we get the overhead view, it's really taupes, blues, and reds. And we have really nice tone-on tones, smaller prints too. So it's always kind of cool. You know, you can work with kind of smaller things. And I put together a bundle using this because I kind of picked the colors that will go really well together and kind of focusing on a more masculine look. So this one I think is also coming in August. So I'm gonna get some ideas together before that comes. And then I have one more line that I wanted to show you a sneak peek of. I'm super excited about this. It's flannel. So flannel is hard to find sometimes. And I've heard that whenever there's a good flannel line, it sells out instantly. So Primitive Gatherings is coming out with a flannel line. They did a flannel line last year, which is all these plaids, really masculine as well, but really cool colorways. And so they are redoing it and with some new prints. So this is, I got some of these, and these, you should feel these. So they're Farmhouse Flannels 2, this is what it's called. But the feel of these, they're really nice and thick, and they just look so luxurious. Kind of has that look of of wool. And so kind of like the woolies, if you've seen those before too. But I just loved these grays. I just think they're beautiful, these grays with the black. So I actually have a complete, fully formed idea for this. It is going to be something new, but something simple and quick to make. And I just love it for, you know, especially for if you have family that has very modern taste. This really goes well with that look, that decorating style, that farmhouse kind of type of look. And so I have a really cool pattern in mind for this, which is simple. It's bigger pieces, so you can really let these fabrics shine, and it'll be a really kind of a modern take on a flannel quilt. So, but I got to show you what I'm going to use for the backing. So one of the prints is not plaid, and I ordered a lot of it because I think you're going to love it just like me. And it's flannel sheep. Check this out. So I think we will probably sell this in bigger chunks. And so we'll have to figure out how we're going to do it, whether it'll be 3 yards or 5 yards. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to use this and maybe do a little piecing with it. But how cute is that? It'll be cute as little pillows and stuff too to go with it. But just love these little sheep. So this is also coming, I think, July, maybe June, maybe even June. I'm not sure, but it's coming pretty soon. So I'm going to whip this quilt together pretty fast. It's going to be fast. I'm excited about that. So this is all, you know, sneak peek, so you can't tell anybody, okay? Do we have any more questions? No? So somebody's asking anything new in this week. We didn't get our deliveries we were hoping, so we're hoping that they come tomorrow or early next week. We will hopefully have some to show you. We have something new that I'm working on, a new kit to show you on Tuesday, so you'll have to check it out. Oh, somebody was asking about the runner behind me. This is Little Marina. This is a single pattern for a table runner. Any other questions? Barbara's asking, have you decided about online teaching classes? Yeah, I made my decisions. We haven't gotten to the taping yet. I'm prepping to tape 4 classes to start with, and they will be video classes, so not online interaction kinds of classes. It'll be video classes, kind of just like how we did our sew-alongs and things like that. So you'll be able to purchase it and watch it, go back and forth. So you'll be able to stream it forever, just like our Fast and Furious Club videos, our Strolling Pairs videos. So it'll be similar to that. But so I'd take you through the whole pattern with all kinds of bonus features that I can do in a video class that I really wouldn't be able to do in an in-person class, like show you different colorways, putting together the fabrics, picking accents, and all kinds of stuff like that. Do I use digital fabric? Yeah, so when I'm designing sometimes, especially if I'm designing for the fabric companies, I render using digital images on the fabric. Or she's probably asking, do I use digitally printed fabric? Yes, so nowadays fabric comes, a lot of lines are digitally printed, and so I use both. They're really actually very similar. Not much of a difference. Sometimes digital will give you more colors. You can use as many colors as you want, but screen print, you're limited on the colors that you can use. All right. Everybody's loving the sheep. I know. You have to love the sheep. It's just so cute. No, he was asking about an update on the fall retreat. It's, as you know, we're kind of contemplating all our decisions, and I will make a decision this month on the rest of the year, what I'm going to do and how things are progressing. Unfortunately, with COVID, there is just not much that we know. There's no way to know how things are going to progress. Unfortunately, cases here where I am are still on the up. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And so it's just better to be safer, but I have to make decisions, and I will keep you posted. You'll be the first to know.
How about another quilt along?
Somebody's asking, how about another quilt along? Of course, I'm always thinking about you, and I did give you a little tease on Tuesday. There will be not necessarily a quilt along. We'll do a project together real soon. I have the project picked. It's something that everybody's been requesting, and I'll work on the logistics on how we're going to do it. So
Can you pre-order the sheet?
can we pre-order the sheep? So we don't have a pre-order set up yet for our website. It's something also we're looking into with pre-orders. It's always hard to kind of figure out how you're going to do it, how it's going to work, but it's something that I want to do because then it would allow me to possibly increase my orders if I see something that's really going to be hot. So working on that as well. So at this moment, no, but possibly.
What pattern would work with Flower Child?
What pattern would work with Flower Child? Oh, Flower Child is just so florally and awesome. I mean, any of these new patterns would work. I think even Flower Child would work with Venus, but you'd probably want to use a background, kind of a calm background with it. I think it would be great in Taylor, just all florally goodness. You could make Clarissa would be great. Hope, of course. So many great ones. There's not much of, if I remember correctly, there's not much of directional fabric, so Elvira would even be awesome because it really would show off these florals.
T-shirts?
No update on the t-shirts yet. I will keep you posted as soon as I know stuff, I will let you know. So Sandy says, love your videos and that we can go back and review and watch again. That is awesome. Somebody says the sheep will be the next Scandi. Okay. I better make sure that I'm getting a lot. I made sure. So we will see. And possibly we'll be able to set up some kind of reservation system.
How about another mystery block of the month?
How about another mystery block of the month? Of course. It's all up here going. Right now, my focus is I'm writing a book. And somebody asked about when it will be coming out. I'm hoping to get it all done and ready for you this fall. So by the end of August, early September is my goal. It all depends on how much time I get to work on these things. And so, and of course, somebody I remember, I saw a question if I'm working these kids too hard because some of you already got your stickers. But don't worry about it. I am committed to getting my orders out as soon as possible. That is my goal. So sometimes we're all in it. We're all working at the same time, and that was the case on Wednesday and Thursday. We were working, all of us, getting everything out. So that includes Mr. Honey Producer. He was cranking out the shipping labels. So that's awesome. Pam asked, is he vegetarian too? Yes, we made the switch, we just wanted to try it out. What is it? It's been almost 4 years. And so it's just never gone back. I'd say I'm kind of fluid because when I'm in Iceland, sometimes I'll have a little seafood, but when I'm here, I usually don't get the urge unless I'm somewhere coastal and it's going to be really fresh. So then I'll have some seafood. But for the most part, yeah, we've been that for almost 4 years. Trinity, Carolyn's recommended Trinity for Flower Child. That would be freaking awesome too. I think so. You are a busy gal. When do you sleep? I do sleep at night. Not very much, but I do sleep. I work pretty fast too when I have an idea and from start to finish. So it's just having the time to get to it, that design part. But I'm really getting into that space now mentally, that creating, and it's great. Sometimes my inspiration comes from, sometimes we're in tough circumstances in life, or the world's going through something, and that's when the creative juices kind of start overflowing, because I feel like that's kind of what my body needs, or my mind and my kind of person needs, is that fuel, that creative fuel. And so, because it's heals. So I think it's really, I've got so many ideas. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but I love it. Debbie is still rooting for polka in Germany. You are funny. I'm not going to tell you anything. You should know that. I'm not going to tell you anything until I'm ready to tell you. So you're just going to have to wait and see. More people looking forward to video classes. Yes, and we'll have some information for you next week also on virtual lectures for quilt shops and quilt guilds that have booked me in the future for this year and next year. There's going to be options for virtual. So, and then possibly just rolling that out for anybody to sign up. So we're working out the details of that. You'll find out more about that next week. Nancy says, I especially love your willingness to share with all of us. I love your patterns and generosity in sharing them. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm pretty much an open book. So those of you watching on Facebook, of course, you're in my group, Gudrun's Quilt Crew. And I thank you for being there. It's a safe space for all of us to share what you're working on. So we want to keep it quilting related. There's has been, of course, incidents where somebody has posted something that is not quilting related, and sometimes we will delete it. And it's just because that space is supposed to be a quilting space, and it's my group. So I love that you share my stuff. I love that you share other people's stuff. I just say that I want you to make sure you tell everybody whose pattern that is. Things like that. You can read all the rules. If you're new to the group, read all the rules in the top section, the pinned post. There's another pinned post that is great that one of the members wrote, helping you find all the information. But of course, we're all human, so and it's my group, so you will probably always hear things about what goes through my mind on others other than just quilting stuff, as we did with Hope, the fundraising that we did with Hope, the inspiration for Elvira, and of course the things that are happening now in our universe with the social injustices. And of course I have my very firm views on that, and you'll probably hear about it, and I hope you support it. We all have to do it. And I love, especially, so there's a saying in Icelandic that I love. We have a similar one in English that says that it's a live and learn. And it's good, live and learn, which means you should learn from your mistakes. But there's a saying in Icelandic that is, you only live if you learn. And so I think we should all be inspired to learn throughout our lifetimes. And it just means that if you stay stagnant, if you stop learning, you stay stagnant. So we need to always be moving forward, whether that is learning new tricks and techniques with quilting, which I think is fabulous. It's going to keep us so fresh to be always finding new ways to do things and working on new patterns and things like that. But also, read. Put yourself in a situation about, to learn something that you haven't learned about. Learn about a culture that you don't know about. Put yourself in a situation that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but as long as we keep learning, we're going to keep living and make it a better world. So that is kind of my philosophy, and I urge you personally, if anybody wants more information to, kind of go forward in learning more about racial injustices, I have a list of books, so just contact me personally. I'd be happy to share. But, we're going to keep the group a safe space for quilting. So cheers to that, everybody. Any final questions? We're going to have our live winner. We're just going to have a live winner. We're not going to have a question. So just a live winner. I think this is kind of a more fun way to do Fridays. So we'll still do our questions. This is our winner, Jean Venezia. Congratulations, Jean. You get a $25 gift card to go spend in the store. And we will get that to you. So if you're watching, you should be. Make sure you contact me either via email, gudrun@gequiltdesigns.com, or message through Facebook, and we will get that gift card to you. Few questions. Everybody's asking for food recipes. That is awesome. All right, we'll have to post some food recipes. That is it for me today, I think. I hope you're going to enjoy a great weekend. We have a great weekend on deck here in Minnesota. It's pretty good weather, and we're going to sneak back out on the lake tomorrow. So cheers, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I can't wait to see you on Tuesday. I got some things for you. Bye, everybody.